employment bonds, legally binding or just a pressure tactics by corporates? What is an employment bond? An employment bond is a contractual agreement where an employee agrees to a. Work for a company for a fixed period, or b. Pay a specified amount if they leave before completing that period. Many companies take post-dated checks as a security deposit to initiate Section 138 of Negotiable Instruments Act. But, on the other hand, under the Indian Contract Act, 1872, agreements that restrain trade are generally void, Section 27. In simpler terms, no one can force a person to work or not to work somewhere else as per Indian law. So, how are employment bonds legal? Indian courts have consistently affirmed that employment bonds are valid to the extent that companies cover legitimate training costs or loans. If a company has invested in an employee's training, extracurricular activities, or has provided a loan under the guise of employment, then the employment bond holds legal validity. When is a bond likely illegal? An employment bond may not stand in court when no real training was provided. The restriction period is unreasonable, more than 4 years. The agreement is one-sided or coercive. The Supreme Court of India, in Vijaya Bank v. Prashant B. Narnaware, May 2025, affirmed that employment bond agreements requiring minimum service or imposing reasonable, pre-estimated damages for early resignation are legally valid and enforceable, provided they are not oppressive or against public policy. Such clauses do not violate Section 27 of the Contract Act, Restraint of Trade. To conclude, employment bonds are not automatically illegal, but they must pass the test of reasonableness and fairness. Employers cannot use bonds as tools of intimidation, and employees are not helpless. The law protects against unfair restraint. Thank you.